Hi, my name is Lorianne Holloway, and like I promised you, this is our first cooking lesson. The first thing we're going to do is the blackberry pork chop. Now, the reason why I have to alter this recipe is because my girlfriend Missy refused to let me stop by the store and pick up some blackberries because she had something she had to do. And you know how people are, they can be selfish. So what we're going to do is we're going to make raspberry pork chops. Now if you see this recipe being said again, or if you see this recipe on television, remember this is the first time this recipe has ever been used. Therefore this recipe was stolen, probably from the site. So remember, it is my recipe that I'm sharing with you today. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to put oil on the bottom of my pan, and I'm going to brown my pork chops on both sides. Okay? Now, this is called braise. Now, what you want to do is you want to put the heat down a little bit so we don't burn Missy, alright? Because Missy's the one holding that camera, and I do feel sorry for her. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to brown this pork chop on both sides. Give it a few minutes. So the brown, and I get a little bit more heat. Okay? That's a very, very quick recipe, but it's a very delicious recipe. So we're going to turn it, alright? I mean, just imagine it's brown, alright? Don't worry about it if it doesn't look as brown as you want it to look. Okay? We're going to brown it. Now the next thing we want to do, we're going to raise our heat up high. Alright? And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our herbs. Alright? I'm not going to tell you what kind of herbs I'm going to use because they're just going to steal it. That's all. So I'm going to add a few herbs. You use your imagination. You use what you want to use. Okay? Because we can't have all that. Alright? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our raspberries. Alright? Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Cannot get no more beautiful than that. Now, what the process that we are doing with these pork chops are called searing. You're just getting it brown on each side. And I'm really just doing a demonstration because I really don't have the time to cook it like, you know, I would if I was on TV. This is a small clip. And what you want to do is you want to keep that heat high. So, just give it a few minutes. Which would be my sugar, which is a cup. You see I used a teacup. Same thing as using a regular cup. If you ever run out of regular cups, all you got to do is take a pea cup. Now, if you notice, the pork chops have turned burgundy. See, that's what is so beautiful about this recipe. These pork chops are going to turn burgundy, are beautiful. You see that sugar is making that beautiful sauce? Okay. Now, this recipe don't need a whole lot of spices and all kinds of dry herbs. How we say it? 3 men. No, 3 children with no job. We don't need that. What we need is fresh herbs, NFL, right? And beautiful queens like me, berries. Alright? The next thing we're going to do, we're going to add champagne. Alright? And what we're going to do is we're going to let this continue to cook until we get a nice sauce. Alright? Okay. We'll let it cook. Okay, now you see it's been cooking for a little while. And the pork chops have turned a dark burgundy color. It's just as pretty as the blackberry. Alright? And we didn't even have to stop by the store. Missy got her way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. Oh my God, if you could smell them. Missy, do they smell good?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So we're going to take this burgundy pork chop and we're going to put it on a plate. And we're going to take another one and we're going to put it on the plate, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my pan over some so that Missy can get a really good shot of this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the sauce and I'm going to pour it on the pork chop. And this is very delicious. You can serve this meat with rice or whatever you want. You know, I'm not one of those picky eaters where you have to have a certain thing for me. Okay? Now, of course you want to make sure that it's neat. So you take your little rag and you wipe off the sides because you don't want it to look sloppy. Mr. Wright will walk out the door if that should happen, and we need somebody to help us with that rent. We're in New York and the rent is too damn high. Anyway, That is all that I have for you today. And next cooking lesson will be something else. And we will pray that some culinary artist does not steal my recipe. There is a time and there is a date on this recipe. So if you should steal it, I wouldn't do it if I was you. Alright? And to everyone else, bon appetit, and I will see you next time. Cheers.